left in the pool, still ready to be grabbed. You can still get your pick of Nyx, Tusk, Earth Spirit, whoever it may be.
Yeah, it's really only the Marcy likely to be banned. Maybe they consider like a Tusk ban or something, but the one thing is like a lot of those fours don't really want to play with Pengo in lane. Like Pengo wants somebody to help secure lane. I guess you can just pull waves with something like a Tusk, but that may also indicate, you know, we head towards the Makoto Tusk. He could play in the mid lane. SF can flex to the safe lane. So I think the one nice thing with Talon going double core here is they're both heroes that have 2 lanes they can go to.
Yeah, flex potential for sure there. Same story with the sniper. Can both mid and safe lane. Undying is going to be your 5 though.
Yeah.
More likely than not. I say that and then I realize we have seen some position 3 Undyings recently.
True. Against SF doesn't seem great. If it was, you know, you knew you were laying against Pengo, maybe, but I mean, I think you want your carries to lane against Pengo. It's like a free lane for the most part.
Well, bans coming out of Talon, the Queen of Pain and the Beastmaster.
Yep.
Get rid of some of that lane pressure.
Yeah, in the past, TSM have occasionally played the sniper. It's usually been safe lane for them, but we'll see if that's necessarily going to be the case. Brawl kind of more known for playing some of those more active mid laners. I mean, the quad ban is kind of like a respect ban, almost, when it comes to Brawl's hero pool, so we'll see if that is going to be the case here, if there is any consideration towards putting on sniper.
Yeah, I guess when Brawl comes to mind, I'm thinking the Tiny, the Puck, the Queen of Pain. He's very active, kind of blow up enemy heroes. There's the Puck. Very nice.
I mean, that's TSM saying we believe in Eldrazi, because they just usually coming out of like the ban phase, you're picking a support and trying to reveal as little as possible, but just straight up picking a Puck is like I have no problem with it, but it's just very much like a here is what we're doing, like try and beat it. But
yeah, I'm wondering if they're like trying to bait out like a Lion or a Shadow Shaman, right? Because you look at this and you think we need catch for the Puck, we need some kind of lockdown, but it's like a double-edged sword. If you pick one of those squishy catch supports, then you're dead to sniper. You're absolute food.
Nyx feels pretty good here. The Carapace on the Shrapnel, on the Puck. Not good against Undying, which is maybe why TSM are not afraid of it, because that lane is pretty rough for Nyx. Like, if you're doing Nyx 4 with Pengo 3, you're not playing your lane. You're pulling waves and avoiding this Undying at all costs. So I think TSM are hoping that they, maybe it's to trap their lane. Like, okay, we'll give you a good Nyx pick, but you're going to get crushed in the lane stage.
Yeah, it feels like a number of those heroes, the Nyx, the Earthshaker is another one here, where if they pick it, see, I was looking at this as a negative thing. If they pick a Nyx or an Earthshaker, then Clockwork is available for TSM, and I feel like Clockwork has been the counterpart that is a counter pick to a lot of these other POS 4s.
Yeah, Clockwork teams have really liked into the SF as well. Definitely a possibility. Guess just wondering if Clock plus Undying, like, not the most standard support to it, but I mean, it works. Like, Clockwork's had that more, initiating, playmaking one, whereas Undying can play more like defensive, make sure you get your Tombstone down, Soul Rip to help your teammates. And there's your Puck catch. Disruptor with the Shaker.
Yeah, that's a much nicer combo. You've got Pango with the added Rolling Thunder team fight in there as well. And I guess it's now down to TSM to try and figure out what their lanes are going to be. In Puck, mid, Sniper safe lane, and Dying with a Sniper. So I guess primarily, what's their off lane going to be?
Yeah, what are they thinking here? Saberlight, like some of his Zoo heroes. Oh, okay. They get the Rubik for now. So there's your other support. Rubik into Shaker. Rubik into Pengo. There's a lot of good spells to steal here. And this gives them some additional control as well. That insta-catch against someone like a Pengo to stop him kind of zipping out of there, rolling away. But yeah, what is going to be the offlaner? With a Rubik, you're pretty open to pick up any of your typical melee offlaners. Like, the pool of offlaners once you pick Rubik is very wide.
Literally anything you want. I mean, Dawnbreak is something that they were toying with back at ESL, something they had quite a decent amount of success with. It's something that's pretty good against that initiation. Talon, they jump in with Earthshaker, Pango, SF Disruptor. It's a very snappy get in there and blow someone up, but a Solar Guardian could break up a team fight and draw things out a little bit longer for saves out of Rubik and Undying to help Sniper a little bit.
Yeah. I think the one maybe clunky thing is, like, Solar Guardian is kind of like this like counterplay. Usually, you want somebody to initiate into Solar Guardian on, but you don't. I guess you have the puck. But yeah, whoever your offlaner is going to be the one like starting fights. They have to act as a wall for the sniper. Mars banned out makes a lot of sense. I think other tanky offlaner. Yeah, the Dawnbreaker definitely works, but you're going to have to go like very tanky survivable. It's not going to be like some core Dawnbreaker with Deso, I feel. Otherwise, you're looking at like the Underlord type heroes. I'm not a huge fan of. I think you need something with like a more active low cooldown stun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this and I think maybe you're the same way, where Rubik is the 4, so we're both looking for strength offlaners, right? But,
I guess it depends where Talon go with their lanes. Like theirs draft is pretty open with the Pengo versatility.
Okay. I'm just thinking for TSM, like what about a DP, for example?
Yeah.
Or a Viper.
I think the Viper is tricky with like the sniper as well. Like then you've got such a squishy draft. But the Death Prophet's pretty nice and tanky. It just never, like, if you're, like, I assume, Tomato, the sniper player, he's like, if whatever hero is being suggested, he's like probably saying like, please pick something. I need frontline. Like somebody, you guys,
go in.
Yeah, go in. Like, be a body for me. Stun some heroes for me. Like, you've got a puck coil, but I think that alone right now you're not feeling like is enough. Particularly like this puck doesn't have a dream game by any means. Night Stalker ban. That's something Saberlight's played in the past. At least as far as Tomato's concerned, he's probably telling Saberlight, like, dude, you can't play some offlane carry. I'm sniper.
Yeah, please let me be the position you want this game. But his hero pool for Saberlight getting smaller and smaller.
Opening up the hero tower now. There's a Slardar. Could be a Slardar. Centaur. Yeah, I don't know how good Centaur is. Not many teams are picking him. Axe is in the pool. Tidehunter, actually. Tidehunter's like the safe option, I guess, but into Disruptor, and also it's like not a low cooldown stun, so I think Slardar is the one that looks best to me right now.
10 seconds remaining.
But
Primal Beast was first phase banned. I was looking at him and thinking, hey, wait. He's long gone. And Talon, their final pick, going to be the Doom. So another hero removed, actually. Saberlight has played a fair amount of Doom in his time. Taking that away from him, so it looks like Talon going to go for the pretty standard stuff here. SF mid. Wait, hang on a second. Is that Doom mid, sorry? An SF safe lane? Or how do they do this?
I would expect SF safe lane, but I don't know. With Disruptor, it's flexible. And then the mid could be either Pengo or Doom. I guess it comes down to what they want those lanes to be. But definitely a little bit flexible. I would think, as far as these heroes and player combos, Makoto playing Pengo makes the most sense to me. That's the hero that suits him. KP Doom, I think, is very much comfort zone for KP, something he's played a lot of, and then they'll do the 23 Savage safe lane SF would be what makes most sense. But maybe they're going to feel like, based on what TSM do, that they want to switch something up.
1 minute to think through the two heroes left in the offlane pool for Saberlight.
He's going to bust out saying Wild, maybe. What if they just do like offlane puck or something and pick like a DK mid? I don't know. There we go.
We go back to the very first hero we mentioned.
We spent like 5 minutes theory crafting options, and we should have just left it at 5 seconds with the Dawnbreaker you said.
Yeah, we did full circle, came right back around to it.
Yep. There you go. There's your tanky strength offlaner. Your frontliner for the Tomato Sniper. Yep. Don't mind it. Don't think it's like the dream pick by any means, but I think options were just very limited there.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's that much of a problem, though. You've got Rubik against Earthshaker. It always feels incredible when you're able to steal spells like Fissure, Glimpse, Thunderstrike, Moon Meander has such a sick game here in front of him if he's able to get out of the laning stage reasonably unscathed. And of course, you've got Dubo on this Undying that can keep the sniper alive in the lane. But what are the main things that Talon are looking for here, though? Because it feels like they've got a lot of team fight, a decent amount of scaling, but I don't know, there's something that just feels a bit off about that draft to me.
Yeah, they're looking for a bit of greed, I would say. They got the offlane Doom going, going to be rocking the Midas most likely. They've got a Shaker on their team who doesn't have to play around Blink by any means, but it's just, you're not as aggressive as the Clockworks and the Tusks and able to constantly make these aggressive plays. So I think with Talon, they're looking for a slow game to just get their farm going, play for these mid to late game team fights. You know, Shaker, Disruptor, there's a lot of team fight strength there. So they're just looking to kind of be the team that weathers the storm in terms of the TSM aggression.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to what happens in that mid lane, because we've got 4 supports that are pretty damn good at rotating to guard runes and collapse onto mid to maybe look for some kills on this Pango and the Puck. Yes, they have escape mechanisms, but there are ways to play around that. As we get ourselves here into game 1 of this best of 2 group stage for TI 2022. TSM up against TALON here in game 1. Already, chat wheel lines. Get them out. Do you know what SCT's one means? Because I've seen it's one of the more popular ones, but I've not looked into the translation for it yet.
I have no idea, to be honest.
Oh, there's the Slacks one, of course. Memeing away.
I'm a bit behind on the voice line meta, so I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to learn today. You know, forget learning what the meta is in terms of drafts and picks and teams. I need to learn the voice line meta.
That's the most important thing. To figure out which one's going to tilt your opponents the most. It looks like with that smoke, Talon able to get an observer ward on the enemy side of the river there, not scouted out by TSM.
Yeah, and they didn't see Brile plant his ward, but they saw him poke out and may have an idea that it's there. We'll see if they figure out where that is for the D ward, but it doesn't seem like they're sending any sentries towards this mid lane, at least not right now.
Yeah, holding out for now. And Dawnbreaker and Rubik eyeing up the bottom rune. Makoto and Hyde, they guard it.
Yep.
So we will get the 2 for 2.
But you can see from like the start, like Shaker's blocking the wave up top. They're just looking to play a very passive laning stage. I think when it comes to the lanes, it's TSM who can try and pull. Like, they're playing with Undying with Sniper in this safe lane. That's a lane they would like to win, ideally. Rubik plus Dawnbreaker, also a pretty strong lane. Especially early levels when these SF raises a pretty low level. SF plus Shaker is just, yeah, again, weak lane. Shaker doesn't want to trade right clicks, generally speaking, so it does feel like both side lanes are lanes TSM can win.
And we'll see if they can do that. As we just take a quick peek into mid. Brile against Makoto, Puck versus Pango. We've seen this matchup plenty of times. You know, Puck later on definitely has ways to handle the Pango, but early on when you've got Swash, Shield Crash, the Blightstone, and Puck can definitely suffer if it gets clipped by the Swashbuckle from time to time. Yeah,
I think is a lane, at least initially, both will get some good farm in. Probably not seeing a huge kill threat outside of these support rotations. I kind of agree with what you said. I think we're in for a lot of these movements early on because both Pango and Puck are going to be wanting these early bottles, playing around power runes. So it is a mid matchup where both heroes want supports to come and play around them.
Yeah, like you said, when the side lanes are so weak, you know, these players, they want to feel strong. Going into mid lane, getting runes and stuff, that'll definitely unlock their capabilities.
Yeah. I think particularly
the 4 or 5 minutes in, though.
Yeah, the Rubik and Shaker are two that are going to have a lot of freedom to move this game. I don't think Rubik is going to have to stick to this Dawnbreaker's lane too much, and Shaker, well, you know, you're Shaker. There's only so much you can do in a lane, so securing runes is often one of the better things you can do to impact an early game.
Yeah, like right now, getting a pull off on the other Shaker, leaving Savage alone to deal with the creep wave, and Moon gonna unblock the large camp. Oh, nicely done by Q though. Gets in the way, blocks it back up, makes sure there's no large camp pull for Moon to play with. So they will get the equilibrium under that tower. In fact, both Radiant side lanes getting that equilibrium in their favor.
Yeah, these are the lanes I thought could be weak points a little bit for them, but pulling waves behind top tower, and SF, you know, doing fine. SF is a strong lane. There's a big reason why, you know, we're seeing more and more of this hero, so it does feel like Talon have done a good job making sure that these lanes go well for them.
KP's going to have his boots and another set of tangos ferried out to him.
Yeah.
And Hyde going to drag another creep wave back, so Dubu is Undying. He wants that long lane to chase people, spam decay, not being given it. He tries the large camp pull to try and drag things back, but he doesn't have access to his small camp yet.
I haven't seen fully how it happened up top, but Talon are crushing this lane. Like, the fact they got that wave behind tower, and it wasn't usually there's like a support there to contest those last hits, which I feel like should be the Undying, but there wasn't it. KP was denying range creeps. Dubu wasn't getting like off really pull camps to fully bring the wave back, so it does feel like this top lane has been really overplayed by Talon in terms of how well they're doing.
I guess that Fisher block you mentioned at the very start helped out, right?
Oh, Q down bottom could be in some trouble.
Yeah, getting dragged back. A few more hits here. The Rubik not able to finish it. And it's
Fisher soon.
And Savage, well, he's going for it, but it's actually KP that gets first blood. Saberlight dying bottom to the Fisher, and the clicks out from Savage. So the first 2 kills of the match going the way of Talon.
Yeah, that's kills in both these side lanes. As I was saying, TSM with an edge in these 2 side lanes, Garrett.
Well, they've just done so very well.
Yeah.
This is, out executing in the first 4 minutes. Beautifully done by Talon here to get out of disadvantageous lanes. Yep. I don't disagree with you.
I'm glad you chalk it up to out executing. It's definitely otherwise it's either out execution or I was just dead wrong. But I'm down for it to be either. But yeah, I mean that a Doom lane is not usually a lane you'd expect to find kills. Like he did get this the nice creep, the mana aura with the mana burn, even after nerfs, it's still pretty damn insane. So they're going to have a lot of spam potential coming out in this lane, and yeah, 2 points in Thunderstrike, a lot of damage you can do.
Yeah, going for that Scorched Earth as well. Not maxing out his Devourer straight up. Probably see him shift into that now though as KP. And yeah, Dubu not having a great laning stage here. He's the one being bullied as an Undying. Hyde doing a great job just keeping tabs on him.
And I think it was a smart call for Talon to send the supports to the lanes you wouldn't expect. Like Q did the Fissure block top, but then he lane bottom. Like you want to have these melee supports with SF that stun. You often see the Clock SF, you see the Tusk SF, and Shaker SF, similar idea. And then range support with the Doom. So, and also just range support against Undying. Like sending Shaker top would have been suicide.
Oh, nice Fisher. Allow for the enchant totem and the raises from Savage. Needs one more from range and another touch from Q, but Moon Meander with the Fairy Fire. Brown boots up, so he's faster than the Earthshaker, but there's 3 more seconds for a Fisher. There should be another kill as long as Q can, open up for the raise from Savage.
A lot of time chasing, but no creep seeing this. The wave was already pushed to tower, so more than okay for 23 Savage to make that little walk on over, but to look at some of this mid lane once again, Makoto is destroying this puck. He's doing so well in terms of CS. Already hit level 6. Rubik's going to TP in just for the bottle refill, but holy cow, is Makoto doing well.
Yeah, it's felt like this has shifted in the same way that like Ember against Puck has shifted as well. And they're going to try and grab onto Dubu. There we go. Another kill on the Undying. 4-0 start for Talon.
Yeah. Disruptors kind of owning up top 2 now, and KP, having a great time. They're not done. They found Moon Meander now. Makoto's got Rolling Thunder.
Chase back into the forest. Arcane Rune on Makoto as well, so using Rolling Thunder here doesn't feel too bad, but he's just going to swashbuckle forward, keep shield crashing away. And Moon is annoying, he's a nuisance, and he's going to make them really sweat for it. But Makoto will be able to finish him off with a final swashbuckle there.
Yep. Let's make him take as long as possible to get that kill, but down bottom, SF got kind of low, but should be okay. In fact, it's Tomato up top in some trouble here. They're charging forward. They want this sniper kill. He knows he can't run. All he can do is stand and hold his ground and fight. So that's a fight he's going to lose.
And a 1v2. As Bryle dies to Makoto in the mid lane. They went diving onto tier 1 trying to kill the Pango, but now Dubu a little stuck here. Makoto just going to keep on going for it. Get himself a double kill. 8-0. TSM.
He had this Arcane Rune, and I'm like, okay, good time for Rolling Thunder. He just kept spamming Swashbuckle Shield Crash. That was like the dream power rune for Makoto, given how many spells he cast during it.
Nice, gorgeous stuff from them. Down bottom, Savage. Finally. 8-1 TSM. First markup on the board as Saberlight gets a solo kill on the SF.
Yeah, not a kill you'd maybe expect, but having that level advantage and having the early phase boot, just giving that ability to chase SF down. And SF had been kind of left alone. That's kind of the cost of all this aggression elsewhere on the map. But here comes a smoke down bottom. Makoto's looking to kind of swing the tides back SF's way, or maybe they're just going to give this mid lane to SF, but this is a dangerous gig.
Oh, Moon Meander. Scout out again, level 3, 8 minutes in on this Rubik. Swash misses though from Makoto. Oh yeah, Moon maybe dodges it there, but a good Fisher from Q will trap him up against the side of the river.
Mid. That was the Dawnbreaker ultimate.
Oh, wow.
Puck went in with the Dream Call, and then they just Solar Guardian on top of it. Makoto's gonna, not get the rune there. Dubu has to take the regen to stop Mikoto, but good couple of moves there from TSM.
Getting the job done at long last and giving Tomato a bit of freedom up top to farm away, but KP already has his Midas, so feeling pretty happy on the Doom. And closing in on that top net worth spot. This Panga really has popped off, though. He's involved in half the kills, and it's felt like this Orb of Corrosion swash build against the Puck is kind of similar to what Ember has been seeing success with against Pucks in the lane.
Yeah, that's so true. And he's just able to get so active, the early treads too, just getting these stats and making the move towards top lane. Can't quite find Tomato's sniper. Good awareness coming from the TSM side. They may lose Dubu here, but that's a much better casualty than the carry.
Hey, it does drop the tombstone, so there's some free gold there. 150 going to Hyde.
Plus some stacks here. Just a double stack. It looks like Mikoto's going to ignore it for now. They've still got this aggressive Radiant Ward in this dire jungle, so they're trying to use this to make a follow-up play, it seems.
And Bryle chipping away at the creep camp. And Mikoto did start on. Swash aggressively means it's on cooldown for 5 seconds.
Glimpse back.
Dubu glimpse back to Fountain.
Kind of revealed their ward, though.
TSM can't really keep on fighting. And Mikoto just keeps on spamming Swash to steal creeps under their nose.
Yeah, that's fine. The big thing for Talon is just trying to create a space on the map for 23 Savage to farm, because he needs to catch up after getting solo killed and then getting TPing mid and dying as well. He needs a lane or a jungle to farm and for his teammates to maybe create a bit of space for him, which is hard to do sometimes when you've got Doom, because Doom's a hero that doesn't create space for teammates.
Right, he needs that first 20 minutes. Yeah, there's Midas Blink BKB. Although it looks like KP here, Arcane Boots BKB.
Yeah. Just wanting that bit of extra juice just to spam his spells in lane, farm with Scorched Earth, but here come TSM. They want to defend this top tier 1 tower. Some good damage is being dealt, but they don't have the numbers on Talon or the strength right now when they kind of got this more greedy lineup to take this early tier 1.
KP's going to pull the wave. Devour the catapult. All scouted under a dire ward, though. They didn't see Hyde moving here. So maybe with this Disruptor coming in, I'll aim for Dubu and get the kill with the glimpse. A Rolling Thunder. Going to stop any chance of Tombstone placement, but the Solar Guardian actually flips that on his head, and Mikoto a little stranded now as the rest of his team deciding to disengage. This is swashed down to low ground.
Works out, I mean, yeah, not really favoring either team in the end there. Like the Solar Guardian being used in exchange for the Rolling Thunder. Both teams able to disengage, and for TSM able to keep their support Undying alive. Not that it would have mattered too much if he did go down. The big thing is defending that top tower. They don't want to give this early tier 1 to the Talon side. It does feel like Talon's getting, I mean, those 3 heroes kind of commit up there. SF farming elsewhere, catching up similar to the Sniper, but they've also managed to find a lane for Q Shaker. He's got 1,400 gold.
I see Arcane Boots queued, but is this a situation where you just say, screw it, I'm saving for Blink now?
He might be, given how much farm he just suddenly picked up in quick succession there. I think I'd rather just see the Blink Rush at this point. He's got the Tumbler's Toy, so he's got plus... He doesn't need the mana. With Tumbler's Toy, that actually solves your problems at the Shaker.
Why the hell not? Just go straight for it. Now comes up top. Help out the squad to finish off this tier 1 tower at long last. And I do still have a few seconds remaining, 10 seconds on that Observer Ward in the dire jungle that you pointed out. Seeing Dubu, but not seeing any core heroes they really want to go and pivot to kill.
Right now, the pace of this game, I feel like, really good for Talon, given that they're going to hit this mid-game timing with Doom, Diffusal Blade on Pango, SF with his like Dragonlance BKB, it looks like, right-click build, and TSM are going to be looking to, get this Sniper online as early as possible, but it's going to be a tough game for Sniper.
Man, both teams doing very similar builds as well. Both carries going for this kind of Mask Manus Dragonlance build. Both off-laners going for early BKBs.
Down bottom. They want to defend this.
Doom up Saberlight. Hyde.
Only level 3 glimpse. Yeah. And only 2 heroes. Even if he got that glimpse, I don't think they get any kills because it's TSM who are bringing numbers. Now with Doom on cooldown, this should be... I mean, that's a free tier 1 tower. There's no defense for Talon. I'm sure you've recognized that a lot of heroes have made the rotation, so it's time to just vacate the area.
And Tomato's found a nice little pocket of farm for himself here. Double observer wards give him the cover he needs. So not really too afraid, knowing that Q is showing on that top lane. And they just showed 2 down bottom. He's pretty safe there. So the rest of the team from TSM smoking. Moving on to Hyde. And Coil from Bryle. And enough nuke damage to bring down the Disruptor.
Stolen Thunderstrike. Maybe would have preferred the glimpse there, although, Thunderstrike's okay, especially with the level 2, but nothing too crazy. But this is perhaps a phase of the game where we're going to see TSM look to make a lot of these aggressive moves, even without a blink on puck. Just anytime Dream calls up the Witchblade, there's just a lot of kill threat with a potential Dawnbreaker Solar Guardian as well. You can have Dawnbreaker kind of playing that top lane, the safe lane, that kind of becomes the dangerous part of the map, and then have the rest of the team hunting for kills, ready for that Solar Guardian in.
Jeez, Mikoto takes half of Undying's HP with 1 swashbuckle. Ridiculous damage. And they've got Blink Earthshaker now as well.
Yeah.
That is an absolute surprise. 14 minutes in, Blink done on what is effectively a position 5 Earthshaker. And he did get a little bit of lane farm to himself, and he's eyeing up Saberlight. Fisher into Swash, jump in with the enchant. Don't even need to spend the Echo. Okay, he does. Dunk him down for good measure. As the Tombstone was thrown in there from Dubu to try and force a fight around the outpost.
Every time I see Echo Slam these days, I'm just so sad at how little damage it does.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one hero, but like, you used to do 1 hero Echo Slams like 4 or 5 years ago, and it'd do a good couple hundred damage.
Now it's like 50. Rolling Thunder from Makoto. He's charging in onto the little piggy of Moon Meander, glimpsing the sniper across, but in comes Bryle. They've got Dubu here to save up TSM's Tomato and turn back onto them. So Hyde down, and it looks like TSM the one who's going to march towards the tier 1.
Good job kiting that Rolling Thunder, getting out of the way, not giving anything to bounce off in there. Charging forward at tier 1 mid this early on, bringing Tomato in, and they're not done.
Yeah, quick coil into Solar Guardian, blow up the Doom. And Q, he just has to Fisher and blink away. Relinquish control of the tower. And how quickly these games can turn, just a couple of pickoffs. A little slip up here and there. If you're not bringing the numbers to these fights, you just shouldn't be entertaining them.
Oh yeah, we saw with Boom 2 games in a row where they had these leads that get kind of flipped on their head, and Talon have to be careful not to suffer the same fate. They're looking to keep fighting, keep finding these kills. A glimpse back on a Dawnbreaker, but they just don't really have the damage here. This is 2 supports.
Yeah, they need to start enabling the Shadow Fiend to get involved. Saberlight very quick on his feet there with a Celestial Hammer, and now a freshly delivered BKB means he could withstand any pressure forthcoming. The glimpse is there, the BKB's up, so he'll spend it just to make sure he survives.
Yeah, good job by Shaker just blinking in to get the glimpse vision, and the BKB time for Saberlight, enabling him to still survive and get out of there. And we'll see Talon getting closer and closer to some of these big items. The BKB blink on Doom. The SF's the one that they're really waiting on. His BKB is what's going to give them the damage they need to truly take these fights and deal with stuff like the Dawnbreaker's BKB.
Yes, I'm pretty content to have Tomato clear out the triangle, kill off the Ancients, move back into mid. He's just bouncing from lane to jungle incredibly safely. And he's had 1 death so far, but he's racing up that net worth to catch up with the Doom and the SF. 2 heroes usually the ones that are spamming out all their spells to kill off creeps very quickly and flash farm.
Yeah, it really is like only the Pengo that truly threatens the sniper this game. So, at some point we'll probably see that BKB for Tomato, but he wants to delay it as much as possible. Not too afraid of SF or Doom at this point. Even Doom getting a Blink Dagger, like, you're not really a Doom target. And he's not likely going to want to just blink in on the back lines to a sniper without much follow-up.
TSM, KP breaks the smoke. There's the coil, turn with a BKB. Solar Guardian comes from Saberlight. And now his turn to get doomed up, while Savage gets some big clicks in there. It looks like Saberlight going to get healed up by Dubu, leaving the Undying to fall near that enemy Ancients area. TSM, the aggressors there, quickly being forced back by Talon's response.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, these Dooms so far have been used not really to set kills, but more just to push people away. Like, it's multiple times Saberlight's been doomed and just kind of walked away with a Dream Rune, double damage rune right by the Roshan pit. And they may walk in on this one. It's a little bit risky, but at the same time, TSM are not in the neighborhood. They do scan it out, send in the puck orb, and it's being pinged out. It looks like Talon are going to second guess this.
Oh, the vision though. Look at that damage onto the Undying. High ground orbs, Dubu's like, yeah, they saw me coming.
Back in now. No Undying, no Tombstone, but here comes the rest of TSM. They're kind of looping around. Are they going to get here in time, though?
I mean, Roshan, what, 3,000
They see him coming again?
remaining? And the Rolling Thunder from Makoto is going to zone them away, but the Stolen Doom, and now the Stolen Thunder. Moon Meander into cube form, bouncing around, but not hanging on to any enemy heroes. As TSM, they're going to get their puck caught down. KP and Savage blow up Bryle. Sniper peeping away at KP, and a good initiation from Saberlight, catching the stun from that Starbreaker onto a couple of them. And it's a zoning Requiem in the end, while Roshan still stands. Talon lose 2 core heroes, and TSM, I mean, they're chasing for more. They got the Earthshaker now on the back lines. Q, he's got 1 Fisher, an Echo Slam, but he can't blink away just yet. Shrapnel and the Celestial Hammer coming, but Q, he's into the trees and away. While Roshan being pinged out now, a possibility for TSM.
Yeah, that's... Moon Meander, the hero of that fight, starting things off, gets the Doom on the Pengu, even through the roll, and manages to steal Rolling Thunder. So he basically single-handedly kills off Makoto's Pangolier there. Trying to finish off Roshan. TSM, they've only got a small bit of time here. They scout out KP with the Observer Ward, but it looks like Talon are a little bit too far to stop this one from going down.
Yeah, and Shrapnel's going to completely keep them away. We can see it back here, yeah. Doom onto him, stolen Rolling Thunder. So you can't touch Moon. The Pango's useless. So very well done from Moon Meander. We knew it was a Dream Rubik game when they picked it.
Yeah, so if you're Talon, you're shaking your head a bit about that one. You kind of set them up to take Roshan and also just to win that team fight. Killingsboro's puck was nice, but did cost them, and they're going to have to kind of reset. They weren't really playing around these key item timings, I feel like, in taking this fight. Like the Doom is all about that BKB plus play. The SF needed his BKB still.
Did Brawl just get glimpsed away?
I missed that one.
It looked like they were about to kill him, and he got sent backwards. I don't know if my eyes are deceiving me, but an Echo Slam will make sure he dies this time. Makoto in a catch on the Dubu, but the Stolen Rolling Thunder bouncing back in. Moon Meander kills off Q. Saberlight Dubu still in position here to defend their Rubik with a heal. Attempted Starbreaker not working out, and Shadow Fiend is offering so much physical damage, kills off another. And now the jump forward from Makoto. He's got that ability just to blink in, disarm, kill the Undying, and Talon is still showing they're a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, this time they just connected a bit better with their spells. Makoto getting some redemption for the last fight, showed Moons how it's done, that he's better at handling the balls, and Talon going to get rewarded with a tier 1 mid tower.
Easy to claim that up for themselves. And good to see Savage getting involved. Still has a fresh 9-second BKB. We're going to be working on that Silver Edge next. It feels like both of the carriers had very, very quiet games so far.
Yeah.
6 to an SF doesn't feel like he's got 6 kills, honestly.
No, yeah, a lot of the, at least it was 2-0 in the laning stage. He's kind of showing up for like some cheeky cleanup kills, but it hasn't really been him getting active as much. Like, Tomato came to push that tier 1 mid, but definitely feels like these carries are still ramping up a little bit.
I need these Silver Edges and BKBs for themselves. Well, TSM going to rally around their sniper. Put Tomato out there with his 2.5 minutes of Aegis. Getting glimpsed and pinged out. A nice wall stomp in from KP. Focusing on the sniper, but he's got heals coming in from Undying and the Dawnbreaker. But the Doom there. Going to focus down Saberlight while the Hyde dies and buys back. The Requiem wound up, but missed time from Savage. Tomato stomped though. The chain stuns, maybe a save in, but Q will land. A nice jump in with the Enchant Totem stun. And TSM being pulled apart.
Glimpse back too.
Glimpse back another one. Dubu dragged into the waiting arms of Talon here. And even though the Pango was doomed, he's able to claim another life.
Yeah, just playing through it, and honestly, just great recognition for Talon. I mean, this is that fight they lost earlier was just all about waiting for these items, waiting for the FBKB, and the second they get it, They get these nice, clean initiations. Mikoto just getting not the best roll off the Fisher, kind of messes him up a bit, but it's good enough because the sniper is really majority of the damage of this dire TSM draft at this point. Particularly once the Dawnbreaker is taken out as well. Like the Puck does, you know, he still casts his spells, but you take the sniper out and Puck cannot do it alone.
Yeah, especially with this Dawnbreaker going this BKB Halberd build. We've seen some Dawns go for that Deso, really scale as a carry into the late game with BKB, Assault Cuirass. But it does feel like a lot rests on the shoulders of Tomato in this game in terms of damage output.
Absolutely. I think it's fine that Saberlight goes for this build just because you're playing with Sniper in your team. Kind of touch on the draft, like, you need to enable your Sniper. You can't play for yourself if you're in Saberlight's shoes. But at the same time, you have to make sure the Sniper is kept alive. And we're seeing now, like, he's going to need this BKB. Going for the full Silver Edge means this BKB is coming a bit slow. You know, talk about the Pangolier being a threat, but even things like the Disruptor Glimpse have looked pretty good against the Sniper, just pulling him back into place, of preventing him from running away and setting up some of these kills.
Yeah, trying to get vision top. Moon Meander. It's a good attempt from KP to guess the direction he'd blinked. Slightly off the mark there, so Moon will TP back to Fountain. Well, an 11 kill lead and a 5k net worth lead for Talon right now. They're still kicking themselves. They didn't have that Aegis to really get that momentum going for themselves. They're still in a good spot, though, to take Outpost top, gather up for Tier 2.
Got the Aether Lens on KP's Doom, and they're going to go for a smoke here. They take out the top side of the map, get the Outpost control as mentioned, and are they looking to... They're not TPing in, but they are making a walk down to this bottom part of the map.
They're slowly maneuvering down here.
TSM are pretty split up. They will definitely not try and take a team fight here. 2 heroes top. This is not a fight they can win.
Oh, they scan the Undying.
Yeah.
Dubu, the sacrifice. He realizes very quickly that he is dead to rights.
KP may find Bryle. He doesn't have the vision, though. Bryle sees him, so should be fine.
And move across that mid lane. And Talon now able to de-ward their bottom jungle, get some vision down themselves. We start thinking about, you know, in 2 minutes' time, fast spawn for Roshan's there. It would be nice to see Talon prep for that with a move into top jungle, get some of those high ground observer wards placed preemptively.
Yeah, it was a good attempt from Talon to kind of make that aggressive move, like get some early kills, set yourself up with some good vision so that you can control that Rosh you're talking about. But at some point, you know, you run around chasing ghosts and you're just like, okay, let's just go back to farming. SF's like, okay, time to get some ancients, time to just hit some creeps, because this Rosh is still a little bit of ways.
I'm going to try and catch these heroes that are sneakily pushing your side lanes. Moon Meander. Always out there hiding in the trees, fade bolting and zapping. Stolen Shadow Rays there as well to help him clear waves. Now looks like TSM with High Ground Ward in their jungle, expecting this move from Talon to sweep through the northern part of the map. And there's the line drawn by them. Exactly what they want to do. And top tier 2 had to take a bit of chip damage earlier on. Still a task to bring it down completely.
Yeah. Not essential, because they already took the mid tier 2, so they actually got this outpost, and they're going to get jumped on. Puck goes in, they found Shaker.
Yeah, Bryle immediately snapping in onto the Earthshaker. Another Waiting Rift back there, gets broken and hit by the Silver Edge, while Saberlight, battling in the 1v1, gets doomed up while the Static Storm catches in onto Bryle's Puck, and they take him down. In the back lines, Mikoto also causing issues for TSM. Gets out of danger, didn't even spend Rolling Thunder. Still has BKB and Blink available.
Yeah. And he's considering it. He's pump faking. He wants in. He knows there's no Dawnbreaker BKB.
Yeah, I mean, they do lose Hyde, though. Tomato's no joke in the damage department.
He's backing off. Yeah, that sniper is serious business. And if you don't get the initial jump on him, you can go on the other teammates. You're just going to get pew-pewed away at. So I think Mikoto makes the right call there just to disengage. They can lick their wounds and come back for potential Roshan in the next couple of minutes.
What's the timer looking like? Almost max spawn.
Oh, yeah. They didn't have Disruptor, but I don't think either team was going to be going for Roshan in the next 30 seconds or so anyways.
Yeah, no rush. Calm things down a little bit. Mikoto He gets a regen rune for his troubles. Nice little refill on his bottle.
By the way, full Octarine on KP's Doom. He is
What?
fat. I mean, you can't go straight. You can't really prioritize Refresher the same way anymore because of the nerfs. It's just not as good. So, you know, these Dooms going for different builds. The cast range is pretty nice. Not to mention, of course, the cooldown reduction.
More Midases.
Yep. It's the farming Octarine core.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see where he heads next. Shivers is queued. Well, I do like the idea of that Refresher and an Intercept to kind of build up. And we see the utilization there of the Arcane Boots as well, right? You know, we saw the Arcanes, a little bit unusual. And just disassemble them into Octarine core makes sense. So it seems like that's something he had planned out from the get-go.
KP can't find a Midas target, though. Oh, finally. I was getting so stressed out watching him. He's like scavenging for a creep.
Oh, and a ceremonial robe for your Earthshaker as well. That's huge. Q going to be incredibly happy with that. TSM, though, they're prepping for this Roshan battle early. Scan is there. The Fisher from Q connecting onto Saberlight, but Earthshaker dead. Rolling Thunder comes in to crash onto Moon Meander as the Doom. It's going to focus in again onto Saberlight, just dooming the Dawnbreaker as quick as he can. The Echo slams straight onto Moon Meander, but Tomato, he shreds through one, looks to face off against Savage now, but KP batters into him. The buybacks from TSM come a little too late as Saberlight, he bought back, Solar Guardian in, and then TP's home with his BKB.
Rao's not done though. He's going to try to finish off this Disruptor. Will he pay the price for it? Doesn't look like it. Gets the ult to the high ground. Chases on though.
Brawl blinks away. Slowed by the Diffusal Blade, but yeah, has another orb to jaunt to. Yep. KP can't keep giving chase, and another 30 seconds for Roche to respawn means everyone's going to be alive again before he's even back.
Talon's just like, where's Roshan? Come on. Like, this surely should have respawned by now. We'll see it all again here. Not the best fight from, I mean, the Shaker's first death is totally fine. Like, you just get smoke wrapped on, but he buys back and doesn't really get much value out of his buyback. He kills the Rubik here. We'll see it. Even Echo stands to this Rubik, but he's blinked in aggressively just to kill Rubik and put him in this position where he just dies back instantly. Luckily for him, this SF is just massive, though.
Yeah, Savage in that toe-to-toe with the sniper. You know, helped out a little bit by the Doom, but primarily just Savage ripping away at Tomato.
This does feel like a game where that right-click v right-click bit of the SF versus the sniper is going to be a big part of how things develop.
And with Roshan up, everyone alive. Buybacks, a lot of them on cooldown right now. Undying, the only hero in the game to currently have buyback available. SF is 100 gold off it, but
Makoto starts it. Meanwhile, 23 Savage is like, he doesn't want to do this.
It's risky.
So, yeah. That's got to be a team call about whether or not it is safe to go for this Roche play or not. And you've got to know TSM will be back up, and they've got plenty of ways to make Roche difficult, throwing the shrapnel in. They can throw out orbs. They've got plenty of ways to scout this. And if you're Talon, you're thinking, we need to find a pick-off or some kind of team fight first before we go for this. They've caught Mooney on the top. Yep.
Yeah.
Easy.
50 seconds. And TSM still probably want to contest Roshan. They can't allow this free Aegis and Shard to go the way of Talon. But into the pit we go. Makoto, Savage, straight towards him. It looks like TSM, they're going to give up on it. They've drawn the lines. They've pinged bottom, saying, okay, split pushing is our best opportunity.
It's hard. The vision, even with the ways that they have to scout, it just doesn't feel quite enough with Rubik dead. Uphill battle, and Talon have set up good vision around the pit to make it a very safe Roche for them. And now you've got SF, buys the shard, or gets the free shard, and is in a great position now with Aegis BKB to be an absolute beast in these upcoming team fights.
Yeah, well, 22,000 net worth compared to the 17k on Sniper.
Yeah.
He's miles ahead of that opposing safe lane carry.
And this SF shard is, I feel like, a big reason why this hero has become more popular. I've seen a lot of SFs really prioritizing it.
Oh yeah, that fear against Puck. I'm not going to use it here. Going to try to go for the Requiem instead. And there's the save. Broyle going to come back in. They've killed up the Rubik at long last with Makoto there, but a coil back onto him and a Doom on the Dawnbreaker. Going to separate this fight out while Duba's the one being focused down along with Hyde. Broyle finished off by Makoto, and the Dawnbreaker the final casualty there for TSM. Well, it might not be the final one because Savage moving in with Makoto onto the sniper now. Tomato turns with his BKB, but it's not just the SF you have to worry about. The Doom and the Pango offering tremendous damage themselves, and we end up with a team wipe. Talon shred through TSM here in their top lane.
Yeah, the fight looked like it started okay for TSM, getting the initiation kind of beaten by the save of the Rubik. It was a very quick telekinesis save, and SF gets in this kind of precarious position where the Fish is stopping his retreat, he's getting chain stunned, he gets brought low, even BKB's on his first life, not saving it for the respawn, but they just don't quite have the damage to finish him off. And as a result, this kind of chaotic fight ends up favoring Talon as they outplay them in the trees. Some great plays from the Shaker, really locking everyone down in place and securing that puck kill, which was the big one to stop. I mean, TSM, if they keep puck alive and he just keeps throwing out spells and, like, basically killing off, like, the SF who got low, this fight goes so different.
Yeah, I mean, in these fights, it feels quite apparent that Talon have a much clearer directive, much clearer target acquisition for their players. You know, it's Doom the Dawnbreaker, you've got Pango dealing with the puck, Shadow Fiend's kind of handling the rest of them, the SF, dealing with the sniper and the Undying, whereas TSM, they're trying to jump with the puck, they're trying to get in there with a Solar Guardian there. Their team fight feels like it's in many more pieces, and those pieces need to be put together by Moon Meander. It feels like he is the puzzle master who has to steal a Fisher, steal a Doom or something to actually give that little bit of oomph that TSM are lacking.
Yeah, it's tricky because he's kind of the one who needs to make these plays to secure kills and be this, like, offensive hero, but he's also the save. He's also the defense. He was the one telekinesing to save his puck. He's gone for this shard, so he's trying to make these plays to help his team, but also needs to be aggressively stealing some of these key big teamfight spells.
And now Talon on the offensive again. Smoked as 4. And it's Pango's Invis. So basically 5-man Invis move across the map. Oh, who's going to come in contact with him? It's Saberlight up on the high ground. KP has the jump. The BKB's quick, though, as the Doom landing in onto the Dawnbreaker as Talon swiftly moving to their next target. The glimpse, though, giving the vision. Now over on the Dawnbreaker. Sniper's opening up on the Savage, though.
BKB, he's getting pretty low. It doesn't have Aegis anymore.
TSM are going to scramble away and get out of this one, though. They turn back on the Pango now. Force the BKB swashbuckle back towards the ramp. Q holds his ground. Lines up the Fisher to keep TSM at bay. So a quick in and out there from Talon. Looks a little scary, though.
Yep. They got some good vision down, but instantly Talon going to find themselves getting smoked out here. TSM, even without Dawnbreaker, are going for this play here. Browse finished off hide, and they're not done. They want to find more. Moon can't quite catch 23 Savage, who just barely blinks out of there. With the Arcane Blink Silver Edge, he's pretty damn fast, and they just can't get the grab they needed. That would have been such a big kill for TSM.
And they're chasing and chasing. Sniper. And he's only going to find creep waves down here. The rest of Talon, they've evacuated. Oh, there's a DD rune that spawned up at top. Makoto just going to take it straight up, not bothering to bottle it or anything like that. Might be able to just straight up kill Dubu if he catches a glimpse of him.
Poor Dubu, he's having a rough one. He's getting the Tiger treatment from last game. He's got to, like, scout these smokes and be the one giving vision.
And there's your refresher orb on Doom. So double Doom, double BKB. Now they've got ways to catch out. Not just the Dawnbreaker, but also maybe the puck or the sniper as well.
Yep.
This puck is going to be, I think, key for them to kind of deal with some of these supports, get on the backlines where there's the Shaker, the Disruptor. And you've got Kaya and Sanj now with the Witchblade. Puck dishes out some serious damage. So if they're prioritizing Dawnbreaker with the Doom, it's got to be Puck who takes advantage of that to be a key contributor in these teamfights for TSM.
I'm so very afraid, though, of this Q Earthshaker. Oh, the Fisher, the Blink Echo. That's why you have to be so very afraid of the Q Earthshaker. Broil dead for 70 seconds now. And Talon with an opening to go high ground again, potentially.
Yeah, it's just the vision game. And
Makoto, the Blink Stomp from KP. They're aiming the sniper. They've lost high quickly. Buy back immediately, though, with this Enchant Totem Fisher with the shard, stunning up the sniper. He's doomed up and dead. KP on a wicked 6 streak, and TSM, 2 heroes dead with no buyback. Dubu going to be a third. And Talon just cruising in these fights now.
It stole Doom on Rubik, but it doesn't really amount to much. And KP's refreshed already, so he's got another Doom fairly soon. With the Octarine core as well, this refresher doesn't quite have that same ungodly cooldown, and they're going on to the high ground here. 3 dead, no buyback on Sniper, just the Undying with a buyback. This could just be a second lane of racks here.
Man, an early glyph there. Means you're not going to have the multi-shot on the tower. Fresh creep wave arrives, and Shadow Fiend, you know, he's level 24, so of course he has that presence aura effect buildings from his 15 talent already there. Able to take down the buildings quickly. Tier 1 and 2 bottom though, yeah.
Yeah, oh, tier 1, yeah, okay. Yeah, they got their work to get the mega creeps, but let's see, they may just be thinking about Roshan as well. They lift SF, they want to kill him.
He's
Savage, he's alone.
He doesn't get his BKB off, so he's dead.
Just gets doomed up and easily picked off. Like, maybe he didn't get the memo that Doom had been stolen, but yeah, Aetherland's Rubik just blinks in, lifts him up, and dooms him, and that's an easy find.
Wow, a massive kill there. It's 1,000 gold for... Where did Dubu get the last hit? 2,000 gold for the team, 1,000 goes to Dubu, so he's bought a gem for his squad.
Okay, they're putting it to good use, but not quite where you'd want the gold going.
I don't know, refresher on... Oh, hello, catch on Rubik. I mean, that is the primary target. You're scared of Earthshaker, you're scared of Rubik. KP with the BKB, TP home, he's successfully out of there. Okay. And Makoto swatching off to the left, but the puck has the gap closed to try and catch up. No coil for 20 seconds, though. So Makoto going to try and turn his back with the bash and the static storm, force the self-fuels out of the puck now. A disarm on the Pango means he's lacking that ability to keep damage going. Needs backup from his squad as well to arrive. Rolling Thunder, blink forward. Going to try and catch Dubu out here. Push down to the low ground. And Sniper opening up onto the Pangolier. Dubu's still dead, though. Oh, they're
in trouble, though.
They doom the Sniper. Makoto is in trouble. Coiled up by Broil. Catching up to the Pango. And Q there with a nice Fisher. Lining up the ability for KP to keep the stuns going. And finally kill the Sniper off.
And he's still got Doom. He could find a new target here.
Hey, he refreshed up.
There he is. You got the puck.
Straight onto the puck. Find another one. A sloppy fight. I mean, it's back and forth, but that's all down to the Pango dragging TSM further and further away from their base and their outpost.
Yeah, and you can't blame.
See that back here now. Sniper is in a decent position just to keep peeping away, but Makoto, such a great job at kiting this fight. His BKB is overwhelming Blink, doing incredibly well. It feels like these fights are like 3 of them happening all at the same time. KP's focusing one, Makoto's focusing another. And Earthshaker and Disruptor always looking for that big team fight opening for their Static Storm and their Blink Echo Slam. I think we might have lost Gods for a second. Let's see if we can get him back here as Talon. 24k net worth lead, 40 to 20. They've got both top and mid lanes of barracks, and they were thinking about breaking high ground bottom again. But with Roshan alive, there's more important things on the menu. Guard that top jungle, retake the outpost there. More importantly, get some vision out so they can see and scout TSM. A big hit from the Shadow Fiend. Short work made of the Undying. There's 2 hits to break through to the center of Dubu.
Oh, hello.
You're back? Nice.
All right, okay, yeah. Should be working. Sorry.
Right on time, Roshan.
Yeah.
It's the big fight.
And they're smoking for it. They want to fight this.
TSM are coming, but they've got to move faster. Roshan's about to die. Aegis, Refresher Shard, and an Arcane Rune on Makoto. That's huge here. TSM have got a lot of challenges ahead of them. And they realize that this is no place to be. Time to fall back and find a more favorable place to sit. Dubu does get a high ground tombstone, but the rest of his squad have already turned tail to run away. The double Doom, they're all over the place. He's got the AoE Doom. That's what the noise is. Aghanim Scepter up on KP, chasing forward. Refreshes up now.
The self-doom. Well, Doesn't quite get the results he was hoping for. It's just an undying kill, but they're playing with an Aegis now, and this SF is absolutely massive. Has the refresher shot in his backpack ready to go as well, and there's just so little TSM can do at this point. But the high ground defense is their best bet. You know, you're playing with Sniper on the high ground, you're just looking to sit back and make it as hard as possible for Talon to get this last lane of racks.
That's like because the AoE Doom makes the noise every time it touches something, right? So I heard the noise twice, and I was like, "He double doomed someone," but there's no one nearby. What's going on? And Talon, smoking up top. They're gonna find Saberlight. He's all out in the open. Gets the BKB off before the chain stun though. Q there trying a little harder than maybe required to overlap his stuns, but they've got the catch. Regardless, bit of life still out of the Dawnbreaker now, but the SF into the back blows up the Rubik. Dawn's still alive, but not for long. It's Savage with a double kill, and 2 heroes dead with no buyback. Means the Fisher into Rolling Thunder, beautifully executed out of the puck, and the Doom finding Sniper in the back forces the GG out of TSM.
The Aghanim's Doom making an appearance here in the late game, and very convincing game in the end from Talon. I mean, there were a few moments where things, you know, there were like TSM got defended some of their objectives and pushed back a bit, but it didn't really ever feel like this game was slipping away from Talon.
Sorry, that's my fault this time. Muted my microphone, but yeah, they felt like they had a very every decision, every item decision, move, every team fight seemed very clearly planned beforehand from Talon. It was always very obvious where the Earthshaker and Disruptor are going, who KP is focusing and dooming, and everyone, well-oiled cogs in this machine of war from Talon, really. Makoto kiting and dragging people around, and every team fight just seemed a chaotic mess of noise.